Hello subscribers, D Forte here. I wanted to give you an update on my RPG Fortaeverse. So I have two volunteers that have been helping me, and they've done a tremendous job so far, and it's just the beginning, so I greatly appreciate it. Garrison Panyan has been helping me with music, and he's actually done some voice acting. He's done a sarcastic personality for me. And also Tanner Field, he's been producing some icons for me. So I'm very pleased and happy with what they've done so far, and I am ready to show off some of it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create a new party here. And we're going to add a party member. I'm just going to call him Sarcasm so we can show this voice. And I'm going to leave him as an alchemist so that I can show something else here. And I've added two things. You can choose the personality of a party member. Personality actually can be independent of the voice you choose, but personality determines how other NPCs communicate with you and how they react. For example, if you're a crude person or a rude person, most likely when you talk with someone who's polite, you're not going to get along as well, and it will have a little bit of impact. Likewise, if it's two crude people speaking with each other, it will improve the relationship between them. So again, the voice is going to be independent, and as I get more volunteers to do voice acting, I'll include their voices. And so once again, I really appreciate anybody who wants to volunteer. It helps me tremendously with this game. And I plan on having, if I can get hundreds of volunteers eventually, that's what I plan on doing. I'm being optimistic. I'm sure that probably won't happen, but hey, the more the merrier. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pick the voice. And I've added this button here so that you can listen and get a sample of the voice so that you know what to choose.
I can't promise anything, but I'll do my best.
So that was Garrison's voice, and once again, he did a fantastic job. So I greatly appreciate that voice acting. And so we'll go ahead and choose that. You also notice that I've changed the background to be black. I'm making it more like, trying to make it more and more like a game as time goes on. Okay, we're going to create another party member here, and this one's going to be let's do human apothecary. And we'll go ahead and leave ornery 1 so you can hear this. You've heard this voice before.
Hey, what's up?
That's more like a halfling voice, but I don't think I'm going to limit the voices based on the race or sex you choose. You'll be able to pick whatever voice you want. Okay, so now that that's been demonstrated, we'll just go ahead and create that character, and we'll do one more. My good old ogre that I always create. Make him a warrior. Boring. And I think he's polite too.
What do you want?
Okay. So now we're going to continue the party. And we'll just walk. Let's walk towards Sasha's potion factory. Okay, now you'll be able to see some of the icons that Tanner has worked on here. So you can see up here next to all the equipment items I plan on having icons. Some aren't complete obviously, but he's done quite a few already, and he's been very generous with allowing me to use these in the game. It's not going to be exclusive to Fortaeverse most likely. He may reuse these in other games that he's working on, but he's contributed a large amount already, so I greatly appreciate that. You can see him up there. Now the other thing is using items. So for example, here I'm going to use some potions, and you can see his little potion icon there. I'll go ahead and drink one of these. And you can hear the magic effect in the background. So I'll have effects, of course, sound effects and everything else based on what you do. But this player also has an item you can use, some itching powder, because he's an alchemist. And we'll just throw it at him. We'll see what happens. Okay, so it actually hit him as well. So they're both irritated. That's what this symbol here is. If we go in and take a look. And you can see I've kind of revamped that as well with the gray background. But as you can see, when I come into conditions, it shows he's irritated. Now, one other thing I want to show you real quick is the resistances. So I've made a hierarchy of resistances. And this is a list of the entire values that I have right now. So for example, energy is a type of resistance that is at like a highest level. And then below that you might see electrical, magical, mental, etc. So for example, then under mental, you may have a mental affliction or mental force, which would be direct damage. But then under mental affliction, you may have anxiety, charm, etc. So the way this is going to work is if you have a resistance at a higher level, like let's say at the energy level, then it'll automatically make you resistant to some of the things below as well. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to make it a 1-for-1, so that if you're 50% energy resistant, that would result in 50% electrical. I don't know that yet. It probably will, but I'm not going to commit to that yet. And all of these are 0% for this particular character, which is why it's appearing kind of a whitish grayish color. When you do have a resistance, I show it in yellow so that it'll be much quicker to identify as you go to look. So this particular character has a circulatory system chemical resistance at 30%. And that's because they're an alchemist. An alchemist gets that bonus. So let me close that down. And actually, was that the apothecary? I think it was. Yeah, that was. The alchemist will have a different one. First of all, charm immune because of being elf. Also sleep immune. And alchemists are caustic resistant. So anything below the caustic, which are all these, they'll also have resistance. So I just thought that was cool to show you that there's a hierarchy to these resistances and there's a large magnitude of them. Now there's only 2 root resistances right now. There's energy and then there's spiritual. And the difference is going to be spirits will not be affected by energy. So they'll be immune to all of these things. But a spirit could be impacted by any of those things. So anyway, that's just to demonstrate that. I added a tab here also where you can see special or innate abilities. So there we can see our elf bow bonus is 10. And then just any other built-in skills that the player has based on their profession or their race. Okay, so let me go into the potion factory here. And we're going to say buy an item. And once again, you're going to see Tanner's awesome icons here as well. So they're going to be everywhere in the game. You're going to find them when you try to pick something up off the ground, when you look in your inventory, when you use items. So again, thanks for the major help there, Tanner, and Garrison for the sound and music. He's done an awesome job. So if you guys want to participate and you want to volunteer, that would be amazing. You know, like I said, I need voice acting. I'd provide you with the dialogue. So basically all you'd have to do is read it and record it into MP3 files, and I'd give you instructions on how to do that. But it's really starting to come together. The game, I'm planning on having a background fairly soon. I've checked the mobile version. The mobile version works. I'm trying to tighten it up, the display for that. You can see it becomes responsive as you change the view. Things tighten in. So that's probably enough for an update for now. I have worked on quite a bit more, but it's not things to actually show. It's kind of behind the scenes. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.